President Biden has asked the resignation of New York Governor Cuomo. Will the state of New York impeach the governor or will he resign? Yesterday, we got a word from the BISD board meeting that no conflict of interest was taken by the board member with a bank loan. How does our community feel about that? Biden on the border. Hidalgo and Cameron County judges have requested that the Biden administration come to the border so they can personally see firsthand what we're dealing with. It is Wednesday, August the 4th, 7:02 a.m. My name is Frankie Olivo, and this is Good Morning Brownsville. We'd like to start off today's show with the weather. We have seen previously how, and we've spoken about this, if it's not hot, it's been raining. Now, while we are forecasted to get some sort of rain, it is going to be hot. We do see that we are set to get scattered showers. Um, Brownsville currently right now is at 95 degrees. South Padre Island is at 88. Harlingen is at 96. Perfect weather for the beach. I know school's right around the corner. Teachers are back in the classrooms. If if we can, it'd be nice to get a little vacation, I guess, right before we get uh, back into school mode. So it is going to be hot. We should have some sort of showers, scattered showers today and tomorrow. But other than that, it is going to be a hot day today. Brownsville, we had Brownsville, Texas, representing the Rio Grande Valley in the Pony League. The Brownsville team did participate in the Cold World Series Championship. Unfortunately, they lost 7-1 to Illinois. But nonetheless, we are proud of the Pony baseball team. It is a great accomplishment, first and foremost, to travel, gain experience, learn from other players, see the quality of talent that's out there. So I'm very supportive of individuals who play travel ball as much as possible because it gives them some sort of measuring stick to see what they need to work on and how good we are with other more talented teams throughout the U.S. So congratulations to the boys Pony League, even though they weren't successful in winning the championship, coming in second place, being part of the World Series is a great experience nonetheless. Even though we'd like for them to bring the hardware, we are very proud of these young men, and we know that this will help them in their athletic career, but if not more importantly, in their personal career, to be able to say that they traveled out of town and they played in the big game. Um, they played in the big game. So congratulations to the Pony baseball team that represented Brownsville. As we all know, COVID-19 pandemic, the COVID-19 crisis seems like if we're going back, it's ramping up. We have been getting word from Dr. Eder Hernandez how he personally has been seeing Delta cases here in the city of Brownsville. We have seen a resurgence, and then we got word, unfortunately, that a 20-year-old, a 20-year-old Brownsville man succumbed to the COVID-19 virus. Um, Everybody has tried to make this and politicize this as much as possible. We just want everybody to know that this is very real. Our county is claiming that right now we are at a 70% vaccination rate, if I'm not mistaken. But we still encourage individuals who have not had the opportunity to do so. The Cameron County is having a vaccine clinic today, Wednesday, from 8 to 7, and it will continue Thursday and Friday. Friday will be till 1 p.m. And here are the different locations throughout the county. They will be having vaccination clinics in San Benito, Harlingen, here more importantly at the Lucio Health Clinic, which is located on Jose Colunga, and also PI. PI will also be having a vaccination drive. Again, um, it is important for us uh, to make sure we are responsible. If you haven't taken the vaccination already, we encourage individuals to do so. If that is what they feel would protect them and their families. It seems like if this is something that we'll be dealing with, at least for the near future, hopefully, with time, our bodies and the medicine that is provided will be able to alleviate much of this pain and suffering that many individuals here, more importantly in our area, have been dealing with. So again, a 20-year-old from Brownsville did succumb to the COVID-19 virus, and our county is having a vaccination drive throughout the different cities. And we encourage our friends and family to do as much as possible to get vaccinated, be responsible, practice social distancing, washing your hands as much as possible. Hopefully, one day we'll come to some sort of normalcy in the near future. Good morning, Gallo. How's it going? I previously stated how I appreciate your comments. I always get a kick out of when you come on and speak. Good morning. I thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Um, in the national news, we got word yesterday that President Biden has asked Governor Cuomo to resign. This comes after allegations that the New York Attorney General's office found after their inquiry and found that Governor Cuomo sexually harassed state employees. It goes on to state that he kissed them, touched them inappropriately. And the Attorney General has requested that has declared that the governor has acted unlawful in these acts. And we have seen how Governor Cuomo, throughout the pandemic, was very active. We saw how he came on every day, provided information for the state of New York, and just to give everybody else an idea of what the city of New York was dealing with. As we all know, the city was dealing with the pandemic. We saw how the numbers escalated at a rapid pace. The mortality rate as well was something that was very shocking for the state of New York. But nonetheless, Governor Cuomo during that time was being praised as being actively in front of the camera, addressing the concerns of the world, of his fellow New Yorkers. Uh, Later, we found out that his office was not disclosing the severity of the deaths in the nursing homes. They were only reporting 50%, if that, of what they were actually dealing with. Um, Again, during the COVID-19 pandemic, Governor Cuomo was at one point thought to be the next president. Everybody said, "Hey, I could see this man being our next president." Um, it wasn't until we got word that his office was withholding information that all these other things started coming to light. Uh, and the president has asked for Governor Cuomo to resign. And the interesting part was that the denial. Governor Cuomo did come on yesterday and stated that uh, it is him just hugging, kissing because of his culture. Um, it was just a cheek to cheek gesture. It was meant for being warm and inviting, according to him. And he said, according to his statement, that he does this with everybody, whether you're black or white, you're gay or straight, whether you're a powerful person in politics, whether you're a stranger. And that got me thinking, our culture, the Mexican culture, somos de beso. We always, whenever we greet individuals that we know that we're comfortable with, we always shake their hand, give them a kiss on the cheek, maybe even give them a hug. But was this actually just a friendly gesture. That is what he is claiming. He did come on yesterday, and he did state that, hey, this was something that I do all the time, and even though my intentions were good, maybe individuals interpreted bad. That is not what the Attorney General's office found. They found credible evidence, overwhelming evidence, that Governor Cuomo acted unlawfully in his position of power. And this is the statement that he released yesterday after the Attorney General's office found those allegations to be truthful or to have merit.
I do it with everyone, black and white, young and old, straight and LGBTQ, powerful people, friends, strangers, people who I meet on the street. I do it with everyone.
And again, right now he is in damage control mode, as we all know. Um, the process right now is that the New York legislator, the elected officials there, are demanding that an impeachment probe or the process of impeachment to begin. We previously saw how President Clinton did deny having sexual relationships with an intern at the Oval Office. Uh, Now here we find something similar, but here, even though Cuomo has stated that he did nothing wrong, the Attorney General's office did find that he did act unlawful and he did do this without the consent of the women. Good morning, Steamboat. How's it going? Hope you have a good day. I like that. I saw that video. Um, Keep rocking, my man. Good morning. Good morning, Ray. How's it going? I was just talking about you this morning. How I know you're busy, but I am set to catch up with you and your family this weekend. I know you guys are doing everything possible last minute to get everything ready for the quinceañera. Can't wait to be with you guys and celebrate the life of your child. So thank you for tuning in, my man. And please go to YouTube. If you're watching me on uh, watching me on Facebook, go to YouTube. I'm trying to grow my page as much as possible. So thank you, Ray. Thank you, Raymond, for being on YouTube. If you haven't liked, subscribe to my page, please do so. I'm trying to grow and produce content as much as possible. I was in New York last week. It's uncontrollable. 80% no one was wearing masks. That's what we've been hearing. But I think, Baron, I think we've gotten to a point where whether it's here in Texas or our federal government has, I don't want to say given up, but we're not having a lockdown again. Last year, when the world stopped for 2 to 3 weeks, was something shocking. And that's something that we're never going to see again, in my opinion. We saw how the federal government uh, assisted individuals through unemployment, 2, 3 stimulus checks. They have gone in debt even more because of the pandemic. With the lockdown, we saw how many individuals, and they continue to do so today, who are suffering economically. Um, and Barron, we see the resurgence again, once again. We see it throughout the world. Japan is a state of emergency, and here locally, here more importantly, we're seeing a spike in numbers, which is very alarming. 80% is very shocking that New York would not have masks. But the interesting part is New York is the mecca, and unfortunately, they get individuals from all over the world every single day at all hours. So we could just imagine in our heads how the virus might be coming and going. Unfortunately, um, so that is what we're dealing with. I want to be assisted. No, you can't. No assistance for you on YouTube. Hey, Steamboat, you made the jump, my man. Thank you so much. Everything is a okay in Colombia, right? Well, we do see how there've been protests. Unfortunately, the people have not been given the assistance much needed by their government. Um, we hope that you have, if you're there already, had a safe trip, and if you haven't, Hope you do have a safe trip. Make sure you bring back some Colombian coffee. That's something that I do ask of you. If not, I'll be satisfied with some socks, if possible. Hope you have a good trip uh, over there. The city of Brownsville yesterday had a meeting. Uh, no coffee. Jeez, you're mean. The city of Brownsville did have a meeting yesterday, and they did discuss a possible tax rate increase for the upcoming year. Um, this is something that they are uh, thinking about. We might see this in the very near future. We did have a balanced budget. City manager Noel Bernal did advise the city commission how we weren't in the red, and that's always good. Having a balanced budget is very very important for any entity. As we all know, every entity needs three months of operation in the coffers just for a rainy day. So to be able to have a balanced budget is very very important. Again, we saw how sales tax, property taxes this past year, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, saw a huge dip, and the revenues for the city of Brownsville suffered. But we have seen an increase in sales tax, in property taxes that have been paid. People are catching up, people are working, people are shopping in the city of Brownsville, which is very important. Also, the city commission did discuss the COVID-19 infection, the pandemic that we've been talking about, and we see here that the city of Brownsville has had over close to 23,000 cases, with close to 900 deaths. And it is important always to advise the community that there have been 21,000 people that have recovered. And based on this graph, we see how there was a spike. There has been a spike after the 4th of July weekend, and um, it doesn't seem to be going down. And the scary part that we have been talking about is that school's right around the corner. Um, Children are not vaccinated. As we all know, the Pfizer and the Moderna are currently right now only for individuals as young as 12, if I'm not mistaken. And this is a very contagious virus that we have been worried about since our school children are not vaccinated, and they have a higher probability of contracting the virus, and even more scary, transmitting it to our loved ones. The EDC will be having a loan application available for business owners, those individuals who have suffered, who are in assistance, can apply. Go to the Brownsville EDC finance program, fill out the app, and hopefully you will be awarded a much needed help. Local news: we saw how no coffee for you. Oh man. Good morning, Kat. How's it going? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being on YouTube, and of course, if you guys are on YouTube, like this page, like this video, and subscribe if you would please. Um, Biden on the border. We have seen how the Democratic Party, for whatever reason, has not really sent out their big dogs to the border. Vice President Kamala Harris did come to El Paso a couple weeks ago. Many have criticized her for not actually coming to where the real crisis is, down in McAllen, Reynosa area, and more importantly, down here in the Matamoros, Brownsville area. Well, we have seen how the Hidalgo and Cameron County judges have asked for the federal government and President Biden in particular to take a harder stance or more action based on their immigration policies moving forward. Ruben Cortes did also declare a disaster. We have seen how Texas has seen an influx of immigrants that are being detained, and with Title 42 by the federal government, which is not an immigration policy, but is something that is done to try and alleviate the backlog of court cases. Um, Again, the Border Patrol in previous years, speaking with one of my friends who's a federal agent, has stated that with Biden coming in, they saw a large increase where before they were detaining individuals in the couple of hundreds. Now it's in the thousands, and this is on a daily basis. And we have seen how our county officials, and especially the city of McAllen, has been tied because Governor Abbott has declared it illegal for anybody to transport migrants. We see how their Catholic charity has been very vocal and stated that they will continue helping and assisting immigrants as much as possible, even if they would be going against the rules or order by Governor Abbott. Um, but we encourage and appreciate that our county judges here in the Rio Grande Valley are demanding, are requesting for our federal government to come down. We do have a pressing need here, and it seems that every administration just keeps on passing the buck over and not really dealing with immigration reform. So Hidalgo County did declare a disaster uh, declaration based on the asylum seeking migrants. It has gotten to a point where they're not able to house them anymore. And now it is against the law to even try and transport them or help them out with any needs that they may have. As of right now, Cameron County does not have a disaster declaration, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I didn't find anything yesterday or this morning. It might be an oversight, but as of right now, Cameron County does not have a disaster declaration. Right now, it is currently Hidalgo County. So Biden on the border, we hope that his administration takes a harder stance, and we would like to see the vice president, even the president, come down to the border. President Trump made several trips to the Rio Grande Valley. Even though it was in Edinburgh and McAllen, we still appreciate him taking the time and really letting us know that this area is important, especially with the immigration uh, situation that we find ourselves in. Um, so very, very, very interesting. Also, local news: the Brownsville Independent School Board Um, did meet yesterday afternoon, and the topic of discussion, while other matters were taking place, there were uh, talks about how the school district will be preparing for this upcoming year and what steps will be needed if they've encountered a positive case. As we all know, we have heard that the district has had positive cases at Stell, at Pace, at Hannah this summer, at Canales, if I'm not mistaken. And they did address the situation, stating the process and how they want all employees within one school to be prepared. The school nurses will be the one administering the swab the swab exam to make sure that if they do detect a child or an employee with COVID, that they quickly address the situation, try and quarantine that area to try to prevent the spread of this virus. But the interesting part uh, was Miss Jessica Gonzalez, that she was on the agenda item. As we all know, she threw some dirt on Miss Lopez Valdez by stating that there was a conflict of interest, that she voted for her father getting the contract, as her father sits on the Lone Star National Bank. The interesting part of this was that the board members requested that the attorney give his uh, give his analysis of this situation. Was there a conflict of interest being a board member who voted for a bank getting a contract with the district to 2 months after? applying for a loan with that bank. I do want to stress something very, very quickly. I am supportive of businesses. I am supportive of individuals who do seek financial assistance. As we all know, this past year, year and a half has been very, very troubling times for all of us. If it hasn't been some sort of sickness, we haven't had a friend or family member pass away, it's been through financial hardships. We feel that we should do everything possible uh, to get the aid that we need because there is a pressing need. But the question is, did this board member benefit from her position being an elected official? And I think we could all understand. Well, based on the analysis of O'Hanlon, the board attorney, he stated that there was no conflict of interest. That the reason being was that this was a PPP loan. As we all know, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the federal government did offer individuals, businesses, the Paycheck Protection Program, which is a program that worked as a loan. The interesting part was that this loan could somehow be a grant. There is discussions within the Small Business Administration how they will be dealing with, but the idea behind this PPP loan is that these business owners that they won't have to pay this back. Of course, there are some contingencies. You have to have employees. You do have to make sure that there are some things that the business has to demonstrate for this loan to be converted into a grant. And the board attorney did state that there is no conflict of interest because she technically does not owe them anything because the federal government will be converting this into a grant. Now that kind of didn't slide with me. Again, how many banks how many banks do we have in our local area? Do we just have one? I could think of 10. I could think of Valley Federal Credit Union. I could think of um, Falcon Bank. I could think of Frost Bank. Um, Small banks like that. We have numerous financial institutions that one can go to apply for a loan to seek financial assistance as a business. Uh, Lone Star National Bank is not the only bank that processed and accepted applications for the PPP loans. That is what we're trying to get to. Even though the board attorney said that there was no conflict of interest, it doesn't smell right. You mean to tell me that a board member voted on an item to grant a contract for a bank in March, and in May she went to that one particular bank to request a loan? It kind of smells funny. And again, we are supportive of businesses getting the aid that they so desperately need. But the question and point is, did Ms. Jessica Gonzalez benefit from her position at BISD? And we all know the answer to that. The city of Brownsville has, I can think of 10 financial institutions that could have helped, that could have been the bank to process this loan. But why was it just one? Why was it just Lone Star National Bank? Um, it's frustrating. It's frustrating that there are some technicalities that go into it. We expect our elected officials to do everything possible to make sure that they look out for the welfare and best interests of the community as a whole. We have seen previously how these individuals just think about themselves, just think about their families and their fathers, while everybody else gets crumbs. That is politics in the city of Brownsville. Unfortunately, um, we told you so. That was our model during the campaign. Again, we have been vocal. We have provided our community with the opportunity to ask questions here through this podcast, through our social media pages. We think this is a very great way for our community to be in the know, to ask questions. That is what we so desperately need. So, will Ms. Jessica Gonzalez give a statement after this? She probably won't. As of right now, it's just a slap in the hand. But unfortunately, once these individuals get into these positions, they forget the reasons why they were elected in office. But again, business as usual, unfortunately. Now, for our story of the day, um, raises. Now, while we understand that uh, Cameron County has not had raises in over 20 years for our commissioners court, um, we have them once again requesting money. And this is something that we saw back 2 years ago. Back in 2019, Cameron County did have and did allow the community for them to come and state what was on their mind. Did our elected officials merit a raise? Back then, there was uh, a big ruckus. Back then in 2019, we saw how the commissioners court revealed that the county was in debt half a million dollars. There were protests out at the Dancy building where the meeting was held. That many individuals, and this is just some pictures, that the place was packed. I couldn't find pictures, but the place was packed from what I remember. People were upset that how can we be requesting loans when our area is one of the poorest in South Texas in the country. Cameron County is the sixth poorest out of 254 counties, but they still wanted a raise. Let me get to the comments very quickly. It's unfortunate that our taxes become an issue after elections or wait supplementary raises at our expense. Unfortunately. Good morning, Hilda. How's it going? Thank you for discussing this issue with BISD. Many others choose to ignore what is important to our community. I agree. It's important for us to hold them accountable. Um, Ms. Jessica Gonzalez has been at this appointment, in my opinion. We all thought that we were going to get the mom, the one that would be least involved in politics, the one that would do the right thing. But unfortunately, she used a position to benefit her and her family. And it's being used as a cop out of saying that, oh, it's a grant, it's not a loan. But again, if it was ordinary Frankie requesting a loan, I doubt that would get it. If BISD wants to know what illegal is, they should ask Sylvia Atkinson. Just look where she's at. Too soon, too soon. But our area is one of the poorest uh, in all of the United States. Now, we are in agreement that uh, Cameron County is underpaid. Here, based on uh, the salaries of other counties, we see how the Hidalgo County judge right now is making close to $115,000. The commissioners are making six figures. Cameron County right now is Judge Eddie Trevino right now receives a salary of 70,000, while the commissioners makes 47,000. Um, and this got me thinking. Uh, Eddie Trevino did come on and state previously how he knew what he was the salary that he was uh, going to receive as as a judge. We understand the hard work, the sacrifice that is made to be in this position, but we all know where we're going at. I don't feel it is a need for our elected officials to want money. One, we are one of the poorest areas in our country. Two, we see how many individuals here in South Texas are suffering financially. The average salary in our local area is 27,000. These individuals want to get paid based on their positions, and that's not right. And just to be clear, it's not only the commissioners court that are seeking raises; it is the district clerk, the county clerk, the sheriff, and other positions that we'll be discussing in the future. But it got me thinking: what have we done to merit this? And again, this was something that was requested 2 years ago. What have we seen back in 2019 to now? What progress have we made? What have we done? Um, Carlos Cascos, who is potentially going to be announcing for county judge or for Congress out of the 34th congressional district. We do anticipate Judge and former uh, Texas Secretary of State to make an announcement very shortly. I think he gave his Labor Day timeline that around that time we should be hearing a little bit more on the direction that Judge Cascos will be taking. But he did make a statement stating that individuals are facing eviction, unemployment is rising, property taxes based on Elon Musk, SpaceX, and just throughout the world, property values are increasing. The food and gases and gas prices are going high, and the commissioners court, they want to reward themselves, according to Gospels. And he says, far and above those to be given to the rank and file employees. Uh, when does this end? And he answered a question, and he states, I think that they, the commissioners court, handled the COVID voucher vaccination process, uh, the freeze, and the SpaceX contract, that they mishandled that. One thing that bothers me too is is seeing things like this. Um, Eric Garza did win the sheriff position this past November, and we have seen how many individuals have been attacking him and stating that uh, he is offering a position as being a jailer, a detention officer, for only 29,000. And we all know or could imagine the risks involved in working at the jail with very violent inmates. It is a profession that is a scary one. I've known several jailers who will say, "Hey, man, we don't know what we're going to get into. We might get into some sort of ruckus, into a fight. There are riots at the Cameron County Carrizales jail." And the unfortunate thing is that look at our salary, $29,000. Now, I don't blame Eric Garza by no means. Mr. Eric Garza did dethrone a administration that was in power for 20 years. And in those 20 years, we did not see any action from the Lucio administration as sheriff or our commissioner's court in trying to make this position, the jailer, or other sheriff's department or other Cameron County employees' salaries more desirable, making people want to work. Again, Eric Garza is doing everything possible to change the culture of that administration. And this salary used to be lower. I think it was at 25 or 27. He went before commissioner's court and requested a little bit more money. Um, Now, what about the employees? The employees, a few years ago, there was a study done on our positions, and based on that, we were given a scale of, oh, this is what you should earn. Um, Cameron County employees are underpaid, as we see here with the jailer position. But yet, these individuals, and again, I'm not just targeting the commissioner's court. I'm not just saying it's just them, because other individuals, Lara Perez Reyes, Celia Perez, Eric Garza is also on the agenda to see an increase. These individuals think it is time for them to receive a pay raise. What about the employees? What about the jailers? Um, Again, it is unfortunate that we find ourselves in difficult times, and still these individuals want to take from our community. Whenever we run in political office, we know what we're going. These individuals knew the salary that they could potentially get if they won the election. Now they want more during a time where there is no economic opportunities out there. The median average salary for our area is $27,000, ladies and gentlemen. These individuals want to make more. off of our dime. Now, while we understand that this is a very stressful uh, environment that they are in, nobody asked them to go into politics. Nobody asked them to run. And again, I don't want to seem hard. I don't want to seem, oh, you're bashing them. No, I don't. I have much respect. After running, and again, I've always had respect for elected officials. But after running a campaign and seeing the rigors and stress that these individuals face, my respect to elected officials. It's not easy. Um, and I might get in trouble for it, but I do feel that as elected officials, they should get perks. They should get access to concerts, dinners, travel for continuing education classes. They do get perks as elected officials, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because they do go through a lot. They do have individuals like Erasmo Castro day in and day out. Boom, 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 boom. And not just that, just the stress of dealing with the problems in the county, dealing with the problems in the city is very, very stressful. And I don't want to uh, sound like if I'm not aware of what they go through because I have an idea. I probably don't know the totality of it, but I have an idea. And I do respect them because they go through a lot. Their families go through a lot. They themselves are working 12, 14, 16-hour days. They're on call. With the pandemic, with the freeze that we just recently went through, these individuals were probably on the clock 24/7, which they, we are entitled to hold them to that because they did take an oath and they did run with the expectations of that they're here to work. But it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me how, during a time of need, where we see evictions going up, when we see the price of gas, food going up, our local area right now is suffering. They are not, jobs are paying minimum wage. If people can't pay rent, it doesn't seem right to me. And here I'll finish today with this meme. The elected officials, uh, will they lower property taxes? No. Will they maintain the roads? Maybe during election season. Will they admit that there's a border crisis? Our county judge has yet to declare a disaster declaration for our area. We spoke about how Hidalgo did admit that there is a border crisis. Have they fixed the infrastructure? In Harlingen, there's an area that is a fishbowl. Have they addressed those needs? Here in Brownsville, we still suffer from flooding. Have they fixed the infrastructure? Have they addressed those issues? The answer is no. But at the same time, they want to give each other more money. Again, I don't want to sound hard. I don't. I am sympathetic with elected officials because they go through a lot. They really do. But at the end of the day, that's what they signed for. Whenever they ran, they knew the money that was allocated at that time, and they were prepared. They were prepared and willing to accept that. And right now, it does not seem a right time to be in this position to request more money, because at the end of the day, it is our tax dollars. Why must our elected officials use their position to enrich themselves? They knew what they were getting into when they decided to run. Look out for the community that placed you there. Frankie, they knew what the position entailed. No perks. They must stand behind their constituents. They must be last in line, no cut in the front line. And I agree. There's a meme that I like that says, "What is a leader? Is a leader the one that's dictating things? Oh, you do this, you do that, giving orders, you do that, or is it one that's actually working, that actually has their eyes on the ground and echándole ganas? That to me is a leader, one that's working hand in hand with other employees, not the ones that are cutting in line, not the ones that are receiving the benefits. But again, many individuals go into politics for that. We see that in BISD. We see how two cousins hold a lot of power. We see how one cousin voted for her dad to get the contract for Lone Star National Bank. You're not on YouTube. Why are you not on YouTube? Please go on your YouTube account. First time tuning in, the first thing I hear you say, okay, for elected officials to get perks, wrong. But I will tune in again and listen to you because I know you have much. Um, there's perks, as we all know. What happens in Charles Days? They get tickets to Charles Days. They go to the carnival. They go out to eat. They travel. They do have to continue with uh, continuing education classes. And they do have conferences that they do attend. I'm all for that. Uh, it is part of requirements that they do need at BISD. They do need a certain amount of hours per year, so they do need to go to these conferences. They do need to um, keep up with what is required. That is the person I'm talking about. I'm not talking about them getting money or enriching themselves or allowing that for that to happen. No, but as we all know, there is perks for being an elected official. I have nothing wrong with that. It might sound bad, but hey, it's. Hey, good morning, Ozuna. How's it going? I saw you in the mission area. You guys are doing a great thing with Cruz and Mayor Salinas, former Mayor Salinas, who will be running and challenging Ocaña, Dr. Ocaña, for this coming election cycle. Again, I like what you're doing. I got much love for you. Hope you're doing well. Hope to see you soon. Hey, there you go. Awesome. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube. Sorry I'm late. Jumpstart program manager for my classroom. Have a good day. Hope you have a good day. So that's what I meant. Teresa, that's what I meant. Um, there are perks. There are perks for being an elected official. I'm all for them attending conferences to continue their education. Again, there are requirements for BISD to obtain some sort of hours that they do have to obtain throughout the year. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay if they go to concerts, if they go to Charles Days. All the elected officials for the city and different boards, they get passes. They do that. It does go overboard. Why leave the door open? And if I have to buy a ticket to Carnival, so should they, for example. But let me tell you, they don't know when to stop. That is true. I'm not going to argue with you. Maybe that is our fault. Maybe that is our fault because they take a little bit and we don't say anything, and then they want it all. But I do understand. I have been very vocal about elected officials not benefiting from their position. We have stated how we want to use social media, such as this, to be able to communicate with you, Teresa, to be able to communicate with our community. And if you have a question of say, "Oh, Frankie got a loan from Lone Star National Bank," you could come and ask me, "Hey, why did you get this loan? You're benefiting from your position." That is something that we have advocated for, and we feel that there is a need because if it weren't for watchdogs like Erasmo Castro and other watchdogs that we have here in our local area, we wouldn't know many of the things that are going on within the city, within PUB, within these small boards, and within BISD. So I applaud individuals um, who do this on a regular basis because our community deserves to know. At the end of the day, it is our money that they are using. I'm not sure what y'all talking about, but if it's corruption, I really do want to move out of Brownsville. I'll keep my mom's address so I can vote here, though. That's unfortunate. I Many people feel that way. Many people feel that we have been taken advantage of for so many years. Um, but I just can't understand. Obviously, it's money. It's money because these individuals, and it's the same individuals, the same politicians that move around, that place their daughters, that place their loved ones in key positions. Um, so it's not a coincidence. Buenos días, mijito, bendiciones. Bendiciones, gracias por estar aquí. Espero que tengan un lindo miércoles, que se la pasen bien. Gracias por estar aquí, gracias por su comentario. Que pase buen día. Gracias. My time is up, guys. Thank you so much. Um, Very, very interesting. Biden on the border, we do need to have top administrators come down to our local area um, for things that benefit them. Yeah. Uh, and we have seen this time and time again. Unfortunately, people go into politics for all the wrong reasons. They enrich themselves. We saw Jessica Gonzalez. Everybody thought that she was going to be that mom. She was going to be that person that could relate to us She didn't have a job at that time, and we thought, oh, this is what we're getting: an individual that's going to be actively involved in her child's life, actively involved in my child's life. She's going to be that voice that we need. But what do we see? She used her position to benefit her family and herself. Also, shouts out to the pony team that did represent Brownsville, South Texas. Unfortunately, they lost to Illinois in the Colt World Series, but nonetheless, it's a great accomplishment to get that experience more than anything. I think it's a great thing for our young men to see the talent out there and just to see what. God bless you. Be great today. Thank you, Ozuna. I appreciate that. Hope you have a great day as well. Puras ratas. That's what we deal with. And also, Cameron County elected officials will be having August the 10th set out for our community to come and speak. And if it's anything like 2 years ago, it's going to be jam packed. People are going to demand answers why they feel they need more money during this hardship that we're all going through. Um, so we'll be monitoring that to see what the outcome is. Again, on Friday we'll be talking about SpaceX. There is a deadline set for tomorrow, August the 5th. That they are in a rush. They are in a rush. So we'll be keeping up with that. That way we can discuss it on Friday. Happy Wednesday, guys. Hope you guys have a great day. It is going to be a hot day. We should be receiving some sort of scattered showers today or tomorrow. So be safe out there. Have fun. I know I will. Have a good day, guys. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for your time.